My traumatized babies and mentally ill Barbies, the dawn is breaking on the stage that holds our final destiny. And so my traumatized babies and mentally ill Barbies, don't dream it, be it, because the show must go on. And on today's episode, do you read Sutter Kane? If not, let me tell you all about it. Now, I will show you, because I didn't shuffle this time. At the bottom of the deck, what I have here, these are our May 2024 vibes, all right? And they seem a little bit more like down to the practical level, down to earth than our April vibes are. But again, this is kind of like, it seems like some of the stuff that I talked about in the April vibes is going to be kind of spilling over, and that's just kind of the nature of energy readings, okay? Like, usually we have some spillage. But this seems way less like high level, like international political stuff, and seems way more personal. And what I have here, first of all, underneath the deck, is the Devil and the Three of Swords. And I am taking reversals, it seems, this read, with the Knight of Pentacles in reverse and the Six of Wands. To me, what this means is that there is someone, it might be you, it might be someone you know, someone in your energy, not sure, but we're gonna look. There's someone here who can't move on from something. This is looking like some sort of horrible relationship, some sort of pain. This would be something, I was gonna say malicious. I don't know that it's malicious, but this is something that someone feels bound to. It has a lot of, so like the Devil, when you're thinking about within my frame of reference, okay, because I don't think about demons and angels and things like that in the way that like a traditional Christian or typically the way people are thinking about that do. When we're talking about the Devil or Satan in the conception that that is a being of, well, not a being of the earth, an underworld being, and what I mean by under the world, you would have to somehow get under the entire universe. You would have to get outside of the universe, and I'm saying under it because like these are dense beings, these are dense energies. Satan or the Devil would be the most dense, the absolute like densest point that is anchoring in all of the material manifestations that are present, have been present, and will ever be present within the entirety of like every universe that is, was, and ever will be. It is that dense. It has to exist energetically in order for this to be. So when I am saying that someone is bound to something, it is not that the Devil is like, oh, I've got you chained to me, and this is like something that I'm tricking someone into doing. They are like holding on to or caught up in very, very dense feelings, very heavy feelings, because we start getting into things like grief and anger and things like it. Fear can be a little bit higher. But there is most definitely like sorrow and despair mixed up with this. And those things, we tend to feel them as heavy, even if they have no real weight. That is why someone dealing with clinical depression finds it very hard to move and get up off of their bed, stand up, whatever, because these things are pulling them down, even though you can't measure them. So the weight of whatever pain this is extreme for this person or for you. And what I have here, the reason why this person, I believe at the moment, cannot move on is that they are in some sort of denial about like having a particular success in this situation. I don't know if this person feels like they can maybe have what they had before, or if this person is currently stuck in a very like awful relationship, they may feel as though, you know, there's some hope of like fixing. This is very like, I can fix him, I can fix her. Or this is in fact, fix them as well, if we're dealing with non-binary people. This is also something that would be like not being able to move on from a particular like bad relationship that is in fact over. It could be something like that as well. So that was what was under the deck. Now what we have on the board already is the Nine of Swords. Somebody is obsessed with something, like obsessed with it. I am taking this Fool in the reverse because this is, I can't move on. I can't move on. And then we have this Ace of Pentacles, which I don't know at the moment if there is something that is going to break this person out of this state, that is going to like some sort of a beneficial material event that maybe helps them get out of that. Because again, what we're talking about here is a fairly extreme energetic imbalance. That is why there is so much suffering going on here, because we're stuck, right? Like you want, like this person wants to get into the upright, or I'm saying they might not know that they want to do that. They might feel that like being stuck in this is like the closest that they can get to like continuing to be with whoever this is, or continue to be in this situation. And they would rather have it at its most painful than have happiness and freedom. And that's particularly awful. And so I am hoping what that Ace of Pentacles is something that is freeing this person up, because what it could also mean at the moment, before I get a little bit more, is that the reason why, again, they can't move on is because they think that they can somehow have this again, like either as they imagine it or as it once was, like in their hand. Like I can hold this thing, I can like, but if that is it does seem like this person is like deluded, like they're like, wait, I don't know what this person's waiting on. We're gonna see. All right, so let's look at our Nine of Swords. Our Nine of Swords, again, the Knight of Coins in the reverse. Can't move on. And the Knight of Coins in reverse, in that particular scenario, that is absolute standstill. No progress being made whatsoever. I wouldn't be shocked if this person was having trouble sleeping. And our Fool, okay, so you see, it's sort of like, I think this person knows as well that like it would be best for them to get that Fool into the upright and move on from whatever this is. It's like they know, but I would guess that at least from like the cards that I'm looking at, they are currently in denial, or they have been in denial, and I'm hoping for something more positive under our Ace of Coins, because you know we never want to see people stuck like this no matter what. I got the Eight of Swords in the reverse with the Seven of Coins. This person is waiting on something that's never gonna happen. It seems like they're just, and they know, but they like know. It's very odd. It's very agitating energy to experience even in this form, because this person knows what they're doing is unhealthy. They know exactly what they need to do to get themselves out of it, but they can't let it go, whatever it is. We'll go around again, and then I'll pull out the clarifier deck. Wheel of Fortune. This person is like hoping for a miracle. They're just hoping something's gonna happen that's gonna like turn, because this person is not actually doing anything. Is also like, unless I see something different, this person is not taking any action here. They're just kind of like ruminating. So even if they like, let's say this is like somebody who's in like a relationship that really just needs to be over. Like, well, it's like, well, we just gotta go, okay? Like, we just gotta learn our lessons and maybe start over after a little bit of self-reflection time, right? And we can move on into something healthier. This person is not doing that. They're just sort of sitting there knowing and taking absolutely no steps to like speak to their partner or go to therapy themselves or suggest couples. They're just not doing anything. And that's just like an example of somebody who would be in a relationship right now. This isn't necessarily someone who's in a relationship. Like this could be like, I'm not feeling a strong pull either which way. This could be someone who's in a relationship. This also could be like a past person. I'll ask some more like in-depth questions about that. Because it doesn't seem to be like the collective directly. If it is, like, I keep getting an intuitive no on that. But I mean, I don't even need to pull cards for the advice. If like, if you happen to see this and you are recognizing yourself as the protagonist of this particular narrative, you just need to take some action. And the first action that you could take if you are finding yourself getting like very, very caught up in like ruminating thoughts is just simply start meditating. Start note, and like people will sometimes mistake meditation as like, I have to be like I'm failing if I am thinking, and it's like, no, you're just like, ultimately, like you do kind of want to quiet your mind down or like empty it in some forms, but it's not a failure if you start thinking. You're just looking to notice that you are thinking and then letting that go as well. And it doesn't matter if you keep like noticing yourself thinking the entire time that you are meditating. Like there is no real goal with it. It's just designed to help you notice it. And if you can let it go, you do. And then if it comes right back, that's not a big deal. So I would suggest that, because it seems like there's lots of rumination going on here. I would also suggest, like personal. Like this seems like something you would need personal therapy for, because I don't know why this person is doing this. And they might not even know either. And in my opinion, I mean, I'm not totally against like self-diagnosis, especially for people who cannot afford. If you don't like people diagnosing themselves, then do not put diagnosis behind such a high access barrier. Because that's why people, like some people, like I would say most people who really have an issue going on, I'm not talking about maybe like tweens and teenagers who perhaps have something going on themselves, right? But we tend to kind of like look at that as a little bit like, I'm not sure. But if this is an adult, like that would be why. And even those teenagers that are self-diagnosing and people think it's ridiculous, well, like there could be something going on with them and their parents are frankly not listening to them. And so they're trying to get whatever stability or whatever they can. So I'm just not like, I understand why people get a little bit miffed with people self-diagnosing, because it is true that that can be very dangerous, but I also understand why it's going on. Like you can't, like for someone to get a diagnosis of autism, that's like thousands of dollars. So, I mean, what is somebody who can't afford that supposed to do, really? It's almost like you have to be at least some sort of wealthy to even have a diagnosis, or else suffer, I guess. I don't know. So anyway, those are my thoughts and feelings about that. So, but I would just say as a first step, as a first action step for yourself, because I don't know about whatever this relationship is, but you would need to do something. Oh, well, okay. So this is some sort of like contentious relationship that this person either knows they need to move on from, or this is a relationship that they sabotaged, that they cannot like let go of, because they would be like recognizing their own hand in it. Maybe they didn't appreciate their partner at the time. But still that could go either way at this point. I'm not feeling like it's split. It could be either one of the stories that I'm telling you about very strongly. It's a mixed energy. Yeah, I mean, I could take the Hermit in the reverse or in the upright. This is like inaction. And that's why it's showing up in the energy, because that is significant. This is like, this is a tumor. What we're looking at here in the energy is a tumor. And it's like, it is essentially like an energy, like a spiritual cancer, an energetic cancer that has a very real effect on people's health statuses, especially obviously mental and emotional health, because we're talking about subtle bodies and not the physical body, which like obviously in Western science, that's going to be more looked at as hokum. I don't think it is, but I understand why somebody with a more material viewpoint would look at it that way. And because the more material you are, like people are even like psychiatry and like psychotherapy is also like BS. So what am I going to see here? Let me go ahead and ask first, what is the nature of this relationship? So I'm looking at the Five of Swords and the Lovers. What is this? Can we get some more details on this situation that this person is finding quite challenging to release? And it is gonna fuck with all this person's manifestations, all right? The Lovers, Justice, this could have been a divorce, or at least this is a very serious thing. Knight of Pentacles, long-term. This is or it was a long-term relationship. Ace of Swords. This came out in the reverse, okay? And like I did hear the word lies. Like lies? Like there might have been a long-term lie going on here, or this person was lied to. So whether this is a relationship that this person is in or a former relationship, it is or it was a marriage, or it is or it was, if not a legal marriage, long-term. Very, very long-term, very serious, and there was some sort of lying present. Justice, Ten of Wands. Knight of Pentacles, Three of Wands. Ace of Swords, Queen of Wands. Another party lied to this. That Queen of Wands is a dick witch. I'm just saying. I'm not even pulling a fucking card on it. Whoever this Queen of Wands was, they were an interloper in another relationship that this person was involved in. That is likely the sabotage. I will look at it. But this person is either considered their long-term, like not this dick witch, whoever that is. This person would have considered their former relationship potentially a burden, but it took a long time for them to leave it. So it seems like this dick witch was kind of, like this dick witch was playing a long game. Or what this person is doing now and kind of looking back at this is sort of they're realizing what a burden was placed on them, like after they went through this breakup to maybe get with this other person or something. This is very unclear. Likely because it's in this person's memories and it's not something that's like happening right now. And it's also like taking this person a long time to like, I don't know, come to terms with this, perhaps. I want to go around again before I get any, yeah, well, I don't know if it was hard for this person to end their past relationship. Or they're like, again, that's like looking at this thing that I did actually has put more of a burden on me than my former relationship. King of Pentacles. And then beneath this Queen of Wands, the Six of Coins. I don't know if somehow this person was lured away, like part of what was going on here is this person was going towards someone who they thought could like give them more money. And that's why they ultimately ended up leaving. Or it was some sort of like material benefit that this dick witch was like, oh, I can give you this. I can give you this, I can do this for you. And remember, a dick witch is not necessarily a woman or a femme. That can be a man or a mask that we are discussing, even though that's the Queen of Wands. So I'm gonna go ahead and look at this dick witch a little bit. I am, because there's, oh, lies, right? So probably this dick witch was lying about like money or whatever they said they could provide this person. And so now they're just sort of like, okay, so this dick witch, right? What is relevant for us to know? The devil. Dick witch. Sometimes I get worried about making the dick witch call because they're like, am I being prejudiced against the Queen or King of Wands? And it's just like, no. All right, the devil. So, dick witch. The Queen of Pentacles, this is someone who like either presented themselves as having like money or luxury, or someone who could like manifest these things. I don't know. Because this is almost kind of like reverse gold digger. This would have been someone, this is either like, depending on the situation, a sugar mama, a sugar daddy, or I kind of go with pay pig for a non-gendered, whatever. I guess gold digger, well, no, it's not a gold digger. It's the, you know, y'all know what I'm talking about. I don't know if pay pig is actually like a non-gendered term to be using here. But then like, so 7 of coins, okay? This is like observing this person, no money. Okay, so like this, whoever the dick witch was, they lied about whatever they had, or they lied about whatever they could do, but it wasn't until like a long time of observing this person that are like stressed out, stuck party realized they actually do not have this. They don't have this abundance, Ace of Cups. They don't have this, it is a lie. Okay, so that's the story on the dick witch. So what made our stressed out party leave their, like what was going on in the other relationship that made the new relationship look so appealing? All right. So in the former relationship, this person felt stuck or trapped, but it's, to be honest with you, I'm gonna look at the rest of these cards. This person seems to feel that way no matter where they are or who they're with, which is why I'm saying if you are more identified with like the protagonist here, this is something you need help with, like for real. Because I don't know if you're confused about why this keeps happening. It has something at least to do with you. Like, yes, it was wrong that somebody lied to you, but also I don't know that like you were really making the most ethical decisions either. So it's just like, why is that? This person, it's like the same exact thing like panning out here. This person felt stuck. 8 of Swords, the Fool. I'm keeping the Fool in the reverse. 5 of Cups. This person, whoever it is like a depressed person. Queen of Swords. I don't know if they felt like their former partner like turned their back on them, or was like harsh to them or something. What is this 5 of Cups? 2 of Coins, there was some kind of like infidelity or something going on. 3 of Cups, 2 of Coins. Well, it's not the 3 of Cups, but the 5 of Cups, the person is crying over the 3. And with the 2 of Coins, like, yeah, 6 of, this person, whoever this person is, they're a bit of a wall hopper, but they don't understand that their problem is themselves. But it doesn't seem like this person is wall hopping. Now, the Queen of Swords has the 10 of Coins. Wheel of Fortune under the deck, so I don't... This more seems like conflict. I have the 5 of Wands under that. I don't know if these former people, the former partners, had conflicts about money or that there were conflicts in the family going on, but it's like this person, the person who ended up like leaving or getting involved with the Dick Witch or whatever, it was like the reason why they wanted to leave was essentially because like they felt the exact same way now as they did in the other relationship. And also they probably would have felt like their like partner wasn't supportive because they were occupied with like other things, or they would have felt like these other things that their partner was occupied by was like the thing that was like holding them down. And so they wall hopped, not because they're like a cheater or anything like that, but likely there was probably like a decent amount of projection like onto the other partner saying like, oh, you're the reason why I feel this way. And so I'm just saying, we look at the patterns, right? You are now with maybe, I don't know how many other people, and yet you are in the exact same place. And this is for anybody, even if you're not the protagonist, like the person who I'm discussing. If you notice that you change your material situation a number of times and yet you are still in suffering, you are feeling the exact same way as you were before, even if those material circumstances are markedly better, the problem isn't in materiality. And I shouldn't say problem, but it is within you. And you either need to take on that labor of doing the work, like capital T, capital W, trademark, okay, the work. You're on your own, by taking on like certain practices, reading certain books, whatever, or you need to go seek out someone to help you, which is generally going to be a therapist in our culture, okay? Because like you cannot change how you feel long-term with material stuff. You can get more money, which can get you more access to assistance and help and whatever the heck you want, like a more comfortable, safe environment, and different material, more money or whatever can be novel for like a few years, but it's typically 5 years, 3 to 5 years at the most, maybe even less than that, depending on what it is. You are going to go back to the same way you were before. It does not last. It's not the same thing. And so it's just like, this is why we look at patterns, because it's sort of like you can be running around the hamster wheel for your entire life, and that can be very crazy making. If you don't actually take a step back and take some accountability, you have to stop projecting things onto your circumstances and the people around you, who of course likely have very great flaws, okay? But they're not responsible at the end of the day for the entirety of how you feel, especially if this isn't like an abusive person or anything like that. We're talking about less extreme circumstances, because yeah, if you're like in an abusive relationship, like of course that's gonna go really poorly for your mental health, but that's not what I'm seeing from this person's other partner. It seems like whatever is going on with this individual I'm discussing, it is a mental health issue or something. Trauma issues are also mental health issues, but I typically try to separate trauma stuff from like neurodivergency, even though those two things tend to overlap, right? But like their neurodivergency is handled differently from like the trauma stuff, and that's why I'm just like, you do like need to be working with someone who has an understanding of that, because you could end up screwing yourself big time if you happen to be wrong about whatever is going on with you. Okay, so that's kind of our backstory here. So what is it that this person with this Wheel of Fortune, what miracle is this person hoping for? Well, 5 of Coins. Page of Wands, The Lovers, I would guess Wheel of Fortune at the bottom of the deck. This person just kind of, by serendipity, wants their former partner back. That's the miracle that they want. This person is feeling, like this is a very, whoever this is a very self-pitying person. Like they would be very much like, oh, I'm here like all alone, and you know that. And it's just like, well, you're also not doing any work, so like, I kind of don't care. That's why I don't care. Like when I get that way, when I get very much, I don't care, it is usually pertaining to people who, despite the very real issues that they are facing, know what they need to do and are choosing not to do it because this person is making a choice. This is not someone who is like dealing with some sort of mental health thing that they're like non-functional. Okay, like that's not what's going on here. This person, like, if I was gonna diagnose them, I would say they have head up their ass syndrome, okay? But like, that's very rude because like probably this is coming out of a place of like very real like shit that like went on in the past that like I don't know about and like I also don't care about, but like that's probably present. Okay, that doesn't come, like that sort of mentality that I'm talking about does not come out of nowhere for the most part. It is created by someone's childhood, adolescence, the things that went on there that have conditioned them to believe certain things that will be backed up by very, very long-term, hardcore evidence in their material environment. And once that happens, it is extremely hard for someone to break out of that. So I do give this person that, but they know. They know what's up. So I'm looking at what this Five of Swords and the Lovers is. So this person in some way sabotaged themselves and they sabotaged their former relationship. They know that. So basically, this person, what they would need to do is go to therapy. Like, here's the thing. I would say this person just friggin' needs to let go of like all of this stuff and just go to therapy. And then like after that process, which that's something that would like potentially take years. It doesn't have to, but like it tends to. And they shouldn't be with anybody. Like they should just focus on themselves and their friendships or whatever, sort themselves out. And then like after that, after they're like way clearer, when they're actually in like this full energy, then decide what course of action that you want to take, because that would be very, very different than anything that's going on here. This person probably wouldn't even care about their past person anymore. Any of it. They wouldn't. Which is why I'm just like, oh, let that go. Whoever this is. Page of Pentacles, Eight of Coins, Four of Cups. Like I said, this person is like, it seems like this person thought that maybe they were making some sort of practical decision about leaving their former partner and then realized that that wasn't it, like, at all. Page of Pentacles, the Hierophant, and this is also this person like wanting to get like remarried to some, because I was like, that's like an engagement. This person like wants to get either actually married if they weren't married to their partner before, they want to get remarried, or like in some kind of high level commitment. Yes, but they're like, the Eight of Coins suggests like working, or like they're thinking about working towards this with their past person, but it's almost kind of like they're aware with this Four of Cups and this Seven of Wands that's like, that this is like futile. This thing that they would, because I don't think that they are working. Like the Eight of Coins is like not active. This is something that this person wants to do, or it's in their mind, but they're not doing it because I think they know like that there's kind of no, their partner doesn't win them back or something. Let me look at it. Their former partner has moved on to new things. The Sun, the Ace of Pentacles, and the Six of Swords. Their former partner is like long gone. And it might be with this 7 of coins and the Hermit, they might be looking at, they might have some sort of access to see their former partner, and they're seeing this happen, which is another reason why it's like they're watching their former partner like go through this process, and it's sort of like that is also like stressing them out, because they're just like, oh, this person like doesn't, like this person's gone. So let me get some detail. Like, what is that Ace of Pentacles, first of all? So I don't think this Dick Witch is even in the picture anymore. I heard an intuitive no on that, which is why it's kind of like, it doesn't like, it feels like this person is by themselves. The Moon. So this is, don't know what that Ace of Pentacles is. This is like this person, like, I was wondering if like the Ace of Pentacles was belonging to their other partner. It seems more like this person is just unsure of the fact of whether they can ever materialize like happiness or a family for themselves or a positive relationship, which is like, yes, that like 9 of Swords back again. That's what's keeping this person up at night. And it's just sort of like, if you are in that position, you need external help. So, 10 of Swords. Strength. That's boosting. This Strength card is boosting the effects of this 9 of Swords, 10 of Swords. This person is buried so deep in this, they don't think that they're ever coming out of it. And I mean, that's like the mindset stuff about this. This person would have to change their mindset about what's going on here, just not necessarily for their former relationship, but whatever they think that that means, because it's like there's some sort of train of thought going on here that is sort of like, well, if I can't have that back, I'm never going to have anything. And that's not true. But it's sort of like this person, I can't explain this, but like people do this because like, it's almost like it relieves them from having to make any effort for themselves whatsoever. If they believe that, if they truly believe that there is no hope for them, then it relieves them from doing the hard work of introspection and actually building up their life. Because in order to do that, you are gonna have to look at like really ugly parts of yourselves in a very real way. And that's a hard thing to do. And that's why most people don't do it, okay? Like, that's why. That's why most people don't actually manifest. That's why most people stay stuck in their shit, because the work of, like, Abraham Hicks, the biggest liar, when they are saying that manifestation is easy. No, it's not. It can become more easy and effortless. Manifestation is hard as shit. True manifestation, the real manifestation, is hard, but it's simple. Manifestation isn't easy. Manifestation is simple. Just like changing your body for the most part. It's simple. Is it easy? Absolutely not. It can become easy once you break through like all of this resistance, because like you're in one place. In order to fucking change where you are, you have to move through a ton of resistance before you break through the other side and you have the momentum like pushing you into whatever preferred state you would like to be in. But initially, it's hard. And it gets a lot harder when we're dealing with something like compounded and metastasized like this. But again, this person is in this sort of self-fulfilling loop because like, I'm going to say it's like almost a relief, but it's just like, well, I don't have to do anything. And that's why, again, I kind of don't give a shit about this person. Like I do deep down, but it's sort of like, it's a waste of time. It's a waste of time. So like, if you know this person or whatever, it's a waste of time telling these sorts of people anything. It's like, you can offer like, like when I'm saying offering compassion, I mean like from a distance. because the sort of spiritual gravitational pull this sort of person would be emitting would just be dragging people like down. That's why, again, you need like professionals to handle this types of shit. Like, a supportive friend cannot handle this without taking like a severe amount of psychic damage. Like, sorry. But like that, and that's something else that like somebody would need to recognize about themselves. Like people who deal with this like sort of mental health stuff chronically, like a very real fear that they have is that I am being a burden. And yes, sometimes that can be true, but usually, even if you are burdening your loved ones, they love you. And so they're willing to deal with that burden. But like, if you can actually look at that and go, yes, in fact, I am being burdensome right now. Is there anything that I can do little by little to lessen that? Because that's a hard thing to accept about yourself. But listen, most everyone on the planet has been a burden to one or more people at some point in their lives. And if you have taken on that belief, right? Because a lot of people who take on that belief, even if it's a reality or not, what happened to them when they were little is that like their parents like made them, their own parents who brought them into the world made them think that they were a burden. Like, oh God, like caring for you is such a burden. Well, you know what? Fuck them. They're the ones who made that choice. Okay, you didn't make that choice as a child and you had no responsibility for any of that as a child. So if your parents made you feel that way inadvertently or consciously, fuck them, all right? Just fuck them. You can get to forgiveness if you want to eventually, but like you just need to recognize that about certain like things about like your family or like your family of origin, whatever, is that part of you just needs to at a certain point go, fuck you. Fuck you, that is yours, it is not mine. And like, there's like an epidemic of that. Let's not get into the head fuckage of like generations going down and down and down, okay? But like, once you see that, it's sort of like, you have to go, oh, like, then that means there's something going on in me, most likely, that's like, not my fault, but it's my responsibility, because no one else can do it. I wish that there was like a way for like each one of us to just sort of like do the work for another person. It's like cleaning up somebody else's house, like to avoid cleaning up your own house. Oh, I wish that worked. Because like that, wouldn't that be awesome if like we could just trade each other's shit and it's just like, I'll clean up your house, but you go clean up my house and then everything will be clean. It's like, it doesn't work that way. It just doesn't work that way. So anyway, that's what I'm saying. I don't know. I don't really know what to say. Like, the reason why this person is showing up in the energy is because they're such a burden on themselves and the people around them, and apparently in the collective's energy. So what is the most important thing that the collective can take from this reading? Because I don't even know what the fuck. Okay, probably you're gonna, like, you might sense this going on. If not now, then throughout maybe May, you might feel like a little knock, 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 and the energy, right? The High Priestess, if you are a more sensitive person, if you do tend to pick up the disturbances in the force, okay? You're gonna sense a disturbance in the force, and like the Justice card being here, the disturbance in the force that you're feeling, this is either letting you know or it's a confirmation of, it's this long-term person, it's this former partner, it's this former marriage. You just happen to be on this person. The entire situation is on this person's mind, it looks like. And so this is just like, if it kind of hits you out of the blue and you look around and there is nothing that you are exposing yourself to unnecessarily through like the news, there's nothing really going on with your health or your diet, you're getting outside, you're talking to people, doing all of the regular like social hygiene, self-care hygiene stuff, and you're still getting hit with something and you really don't understand why, like this is why. So it's sort of designed to sort of say, don't, like, Don't take on the like, oh my gosh, am I like relapsing or something? Probably not, though. If it goes on for a long time, if there is someone that you check in with regularly, you might want to check in with them, right? Ooh, this house, like, this is a disturbance in the forest. Jesus Christ. That's what I'm saying. It's like this, like this person is doing enough to where it's just like, it's like an alarm bell going off. Yeah, it's sort of like this person knows they destroyed things. 10 of Cups, what they want to do is like recreate like happiness without doing anything. 5 of Cups, this person, like, I don't know if they're hoping that like you reach out to them or something. Yeah, they like want you to reach out to them. That's so part of the miracle of this is they're like, I want my person to reach back out to me. Because they want to rebuild, okay? They want to rebuild something with you, but this person is in absolutely no state to be doing that with anybody, because the cycle is just going to repeat for this person unless they work things out on their own. And the fact that they're not even willing to like take the initial step to contact you and be discussing like, hey, I would really like your support as I like go through this mental health. Like the fact that they're not doing any of that, they're still looking for someone else to take the initiative. It's just not a good sign. It's really not, like, no matter who this person is. So we're gonna move on to final advice outcome. And before I do, if you have received ongoing support, entertainment, positive manifestations from the channel, if you could do me a big favor, I have a link down below for House of Tulip. House of Tulip is a local nonprofit created and run by trans and gender nonconforming people of color, and their mission is to support houseless trans and gender nonconforming youth, getting them homes, toiletries, clothing, job opportunities, homes, and everything that they would need to move from a space of surviving to thriving within loving, supportive community. The donation link is in the description. So let's go ahead and get y'all's final advice outcome. Final advice outcome. I don't even know. I'm gonna have to, I'm gonna have to pull another row because I'm kind of like, I don't know. Hold on, let me like see if I'm just being a lazy ass. It honestly, because I'm just saying this is so static, it sort of seems like this person is in the, what I have here is the 10 of Coins, the King of Swords, and the King of Cups. When I'm saying this is static, it's just like this person is in the mental realm. They're in the mental and emotional realm when in the process of wanting to create like the 10 of Coins, healthy community, some sort of personal wealth that does not have to be grandiose. We could just be talking about a stable, like working class life, okay? Because that can look a lot of different ways. They're in the mental and emotional realm for a material creation. And that's why I'm saying this is like static. There's like nothing going on here. So like there is no outcome. There is no advice for me to give to you. I'm gonna go around again and then we're just, there is no advice. There is no outcome. It's stationary. 4 of Swords. This person is in the, like, there's nothing here. There is no tangible result. 3 of Swords, stuck in the past, stuck in pain. And I guarantee you that is more than like who, like, cause I guarantee you, I'm talking to someone that like y'all were with in the past, okay? Whatever, like this person may be associating you with this, whatever is going on with this person truly has like nothing the fuck to do with you. I promise. That's pain. That's the sort of pain that like, until you really deal with it, you're just constantly like projecting it onto other people and making other people your problem, when really the thing that was your problem was like very, very long ago. And until you confront and deal with that, it like that's what's causing the loop, okay? So this person, I say they want to be with their match. King of Cups, Queen of Cups, Eight of Swords, no. What a god-awful read. Like, before I move to the Sun and the Father, is there anything more positive that I could tell the collective that's maybe going on with them, more pertaining to them and not this person, that would be going on in May? Positive or negative? If it's negative, we'll like look at that really. Oh, hey. Oh, hey. You got a big change. Hold on, let me look at what that is. Like I said, y'all like move the fuck on. Y'all are like long gone. Baby! Oh my God, 9 of Coins, collective, the 9 of Coins under the deck, man, woman, non-binary person, like y'all are good. Like, I don't know, the collective, like as I'm saying, like the collective's usually not showing up in like bedraggled energy. Usually like we get like little things every now and again, but it's sort of like, the thing is, when I bring it up in the read, the collective has to address it because like when the next read comes out, the read specifically says, yes, the collective worked on that. And like we just move on. So it's just like we're dealing with a very like responsive like collective of people, at least for now. And so y'all are just like recognizing this stuff and like dealing with the challenges as they come, and it doesn't seem to be impacting y'all's mental health in a significant way. Like, right? Like it's not something that I need to be like, hey, look, like we gotta like Avengers assemble on this. For y'all, just pertaining to your own life, it's possible that if you're single, that you're potentially going to be meeting somebody, or you're going to be like partnering up with somebody, maybe to work on something. I don't know, but like I'm saying, probably that's more, if you're in a relationship, right, that might be more of like a creative partnership if you know you're into that sort of thing. So this wouldn't be a new love interest, it would be a new creative partner, unless you're in something like polyamory, ethical non-monogamy, or an open relationship where you would be bringing in other people now and again, or like permanent partners, whatever. It could be that. It could be just a creative partnership. If you are single, then this would be indicating that perhaps somebody's going to be giving to you in a real way, and it would be because that is like part of their love language, and they are looking to like do some sort of courtship. That could also be a brand new friend, but whatever it is, it's a big freaking deal with this Death card. It's a big change, and it's a happy one. So that's like for y'all personally, like in your own environment, that is what's going on with you. And then this other stuff is just showing up. Like I get that this person has to be having a way of like watching y'all, maybe. I don't know. What is that? Because I did see the 10 of Wands. Like this is either something that y'all have been working towards, or like y'all are working on something and someone's coming to like relieve something like for you. Oh no, you don't. This is somebody, this is this other person. The 10 of Wands is not y'all. That's like some other person that you don't know about, who like really like, they like Empress the Star, like, and that can also be the Emperor the Star. Okay, if you're a man, this is either like a woman, whoever you would actually be attracted to, right? Like, okay, let's just go with that. Whoever you would actually be attracted to, like there's somebody who's been like working really hard to please you, but it's like been something that's been behind the scenes, something that you haven't been seeing, but this person very much like it seems like wants to be with you very much. They're very attracted to you. Queen of Wands. You're not a dick witch, but okay, that's what I'm saying. Like the Queen of Wands isn't always like a dick witch. It's just somebody very, like, can be very attractive or very confident, sometimes a magical person and all of that. But it just seems like that might come in for you in May, or at least sometime this year. Yeah, somebody's attracted to you. This is just somebody who's attracted to you. You might see them. You might see this person in May, though I typically, like, I kind of, depending on how these sorts of reads progress, within the more like single people who have been coming into people's lives, it's sort of like that 10 of Wands is a reflection of when I get a read that's pertaining to them specifically, it's like they're doing like cleanup and like organization in their own life, like kind of big deal stuff that they would want to like get a handle on before they're incorporating like another person, right? So that's a reference to those sorts of readings that are tending to pop up on the channel, and the timelines that I've been kind of getting on that, depending, right? Depending on who you are, depending on how the situation unfolds, that tends to be within like 3 to 6 months-ish, maybe less than that, like towards the end of the year. So I just kind of say like 2024, right? 2024. So let's go ahead and close out with the Son and the Father. Okay, Jesus says, come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Like you said, this person doesn't need, this person, like when I say they need Jesus, right? They need someone who can help them release this stuff. And that is like not another like romantic partner or whatever. They need like professional help, or someone who can like really actually explain how you actually give something to God, lay something at the foot of the cross. That's just the Christian way of saying, let it go. Because you can't do anything about it and it's doing nothing. This is like an old wound, like you need to give it up. That's all that means. It doesn't mean shirk responsibility. It means you release the things that are not within your control. But like, people just tend to say those little things like, oh, give it to God. Oh, give it to, and then they don't explain how to do that, right? They don't explain what that truly means. And I typically like have a hard time with the like, well, how do you let it go? Like, and that's why I'm saying meditation can also help too, because if you can let thoughts go, you're just sort of doing the same thing with like a large group of thoughts. Or it'll be like a realization that you have, like something, like sometimes you'll manifest something, not to scare anybody, okay? Like it's gonna be something you survive. But if you're really having a problem, like letting something go, like you really can't do it, like you're having a hard time, you'll manifest like some sort of fucked up circumstances that will mirror to you in materiality the process of letting something go. And if you can let the thing go in materiality, it can sometimes like click like, oh, like if I just let that thing go, then I can let this thing go too. Like those are the sorts of experiences that I've had, but it takes a specific type of mentality to recognize that, because someone can just as easily have that fucked up manifestation and take it as confirmation of like, oh, see, I'm always gonna have like bash, like, okay, so that's why like we need to stay frosty on that. Jesus also says, love each other as I have loved you. So we're talking about unconditional love. And I would say that this, when we have someone dealing with something like this, right? That's not someone who can really get into a place of unconditional love validly, because they would need to be centering themselves and their own pain for a decent amount of time for them to be able to recognize it, process it, and truly be in a place where they can let that go. So it's sort of like, well, you're not like, I have seen no signs of anybody getting back together, like none of that. I'm just saying, part of what you can do energetically, if you are noticing this person showing up in the energy, if you want to do a loving kindness meditation, if you want to give this person the sort of love that Jesus is talking about, the love of Jesus, the unconditional love. It's not romantic love. It's not anything like that. It is that I recognize you as a human being who is suffering. And I do care very much about that. And I wish you wellness, even though I will not be taking on those burdens. That's what that is. Jesus also says, I am with you always to the end of the age. So like I'm saying, like this person, like no one in the energy, right? In the unseen realms, no one is ever truly abandoned for real. There is always that energetic support. Though I know that can be like a shit thing to hear when what you really super want is someone there for you in real life. You might believe that, right? Especially for someone like this, they might believe that they would eventually come to resent that person. I promise you. Once this person was out of their like more depressive state, they would eventually come to resent their partner. That's usually how that loop goes. Jesus also says, where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. So the thing is, this person, if they chose, right? This person could have a wonderful life and wonderful manifestations, but they would have to choose it. And so this person is not truly blocked. They're not like, this is someone getting in their own way. Which is why I'm just like saying, give it to God, give it to Jesus. This person needs to go there in however they're conceiving of that, because an agnostic person or an atheist can also do that thing. It's just they're not going to be talking about it in religious or mystical language. All right, so we close as always with the highest authority, that highest authority of course being Bob, our Father who art in heaven. We close with the word of Bob that is good all the time. Ooh, 2 Bobs. All right, Bob says, let's get crazy. What the heck? Take a 2-inch brush. This is your bravery test. So this person just needs to take any sort of action. And they could, in fact, take some drastic action right now. And I'm not talking about towards y'all. It's just like this person, because I'm telling you, they're not, I really don't feel them as attached to anyone right now. That's an adult person who, like, because I don't sense that that person has children or anything either. That's someone who has no dependents. They have no one super leaning on them at this time. They can do whatever they want. That's actually a really good place to be in, because I'm also not super getting that this person is like super financially, like this person has a job. Like I'm telling you, it like, they can do whatever they want within their current means, right? Which even if you like want more means, you can still work towards that. So like this person just needs to, you know, they need to break free, whatever. Bob also says, did you ever think you could just take a great big old brush and make all these beautiful little trees? You really can. That is verifying that yes, you can change. You can make a change. The first thing is the will to do it. The energy, then the thought. And that's typically where like you get into miracles, because how does the energy just shift? But it can, and it does. And it's usually like, that's like hitting rock bottom or whatever. That can look a lot of different ways, but it's sort of like that's when someone gets sick and tired of being sick and tired. So this person's not done with being sick and tired yet. Bob finally says, it's life, it's interesting, it's fun. So not only is that y'all's energy at the moment, but this is also a reminder that that is not closed from anyone. And I'm going to say I don't care about the circumstances. There are very, very extreme ones that like, yeah, no, like that's not what we would be telling people in those circumstances. I promise you, I'm not talking to anybody in those, because I'm talking about like, I'm not even gonna say it. I don't even feel like bringing the energy into the space, but it's like horrific stuff, okay? Stuff that like is heinous, okay? Then, because I wouldn't be having this conversation with someone going through something like that. But even at very low states, right? You can still simply look around and view it. Anything you want to do it, want to change the world, there's nothing to it, okay? So, my traumatized babies and mentally ill Barbies, this is reality, and I am your GM. Your game master for this, the game of life. I'm also, of course, the greatest magician of the age, and perhaps the greatest magician of all time. And together, you and I will perform the greatest magic trick of all time. We will reverse the polarities of the world, make America great for once, fly this boat to the moon somehow, shift our world onto the mega happy timeline, perhaps leaving it a much better place than it ever has been before. Because we are, my traumatized babies and mentally ill Barbies, crawling on the planet's face, some insects called the human race, lost in time and lost in space. End meaning.